Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're diving into some fresh training camp footage, and I've got to be straight with you, overall the Fever aren't revealing much yet. It's very controlled, very deliberate, and I'll break that down more in detail tomorrow. But being at practice today did give us a slightly better look compared to the first few sessions. One thing that stood out immediately was seeing the core starters getting real work in. Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, and even Sophie Cunningham were locked in during group shooting drills, and the efficiency looked solid across the board. On the opposite end, you had the younger players grinding with assistant coaches, focusing on rhythm, timing, and getting comfortable in game-like situations. And that's really the key takeaway. It wasn't just stationary shooting. These were actual game shots. Players coming off screens, curling around picks, pulling up from deep, even working on step-backs beyond the arc. The intensity and realism of those reps were noticeable. And honestly, they were knocking them down consistently. Damn. Now, the unexpected highlight? Cheryl Miller showing up. That instantly shifted the energy in the gym. According to Scott Agnes, her presence drew attention right away, and you could see the respect. Lots of greetings, conversations, and genuine moments with players and staff. Overall, a subtle but very telling day at camp. Real shit.
All right, so let's really talk about what's going on here, because if you've been paying attention to this Indiana Fever training camp, something feels different. And not in a bad way, just different. They had all the usual people watching, media around, fans paying attention, clips coming out, but the vibe, it's not the same as last year. And that's the first thing that stands out. Because a year ago, the Fever were showing everything. I mean everything. Last season, you could practically map out their entire offensive system just from training camp footage. I remember sitting there making full breakdown videos, like deep dives into their spacing, their sets, the way they were trying to use Caitlin Clark in pick and roll situations, how they were structuring their transition offense, even the defensive schemes they were experimenting with. It was all out there in the open. You knew what they were trying to build. This year, completely different approach. Now it feels like they're holding things back. You're getting glimpses, little flashes of defensive rotations, maybe a hint of a scheme here or there, but nothing close to a full reveal. It's controlled. It's deliberate. It's almost like they've learned from last year and decided, yeah, we're not giving everyone a free scouting report this time. And honestly, that's probably a smart move. Real shit. But even with that more reserved approach, there are still some clear takeaways from what we've seen so far. First off, individual performances. Apparently, Pat has been looking really solid in camp, which is a great sign. You always want to hear that players are coming in sharp, especially early on. But the real headline moment? Cheryl Miller showing up. That alone brings a different level of attention and energy to the gym. When someone like that walks into a training session, it's not just symbolic, it matters. Players feel it. And then, of course, there's Caitlin Clark, because let's be honest, that's what everyone is really watching. Damn. And from everything coming out of camp, her shot is looking good. Not just good, smooth, controlled, in rhythm. There was even a stretch where a group including Caitlin, Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell, and Walker Kimbrough barely missed for about 15 minutes straight. Think about that group for a second. You've got Caitlin, one of the most high-volume, difficult shot creators in the league, Sophie Cunningham, who led the league in true shooting percentage, Kelsey Mitchell, who, among guards in 2024, led the league in points per shot attempted, and then you've got Kimbrough in the mix as well. That's a serious shooting lineup. And the fact that they were basically automatic for that stretch, that's exactly what you want to hear coming out of camp. No bullshit. Now, here's where it gets interesting and kind of funny. There's always been this narrative floating around about Caitlin being inefficient, right? But when you actually look at the numbers, it tells a different story. She was third among guards in points per shot attempted. That's elite territory. I'm pretty sure she even had a higher points per shot attempt than Aja Wilson that season, which sounds insane when you say it out loud, but it happened. So yeah, the inefficient label doesn't really hold up when you break it down properly. Bullshit. But back to the shooting in camp. What we're seeing right now is exactly what you'd expect from a pro at this level. People sometimes get unrealistic with expectations. They'll say, oh, she should be shooting 90% in an open gym. That's not how this works. Even in an open gym, in a relaxed environment with multiple baskets, you're still looking for around 80% as a baseline for a player like Caitlin. That's the standard. And from what we've seen, she's right there. She missed a couple of shots, maybe 2 out of around 30 attempts. That puts her somewhere in the low to mid 80% range, roughly 83% give or take. That's perfect. Seriously, that's exactly where you want her. If she didn't mess at all, sure, it would look impressive, but it wouldn't necessarily tell you more. The key is rhythm, consistency, and shot quality.
And that's what stands out here. We're seeing a variety of shots, too. There's that sidestep 3 going left, which is one of her signature moves. She hit one going right as well, which is encouraging because expanding that balance makes her even harder to guard. Then you've got that floater, or push mid-range shot, something she started leaning into more after the Olympic break in 2024. And don't forget the post fade. That's a shot she used a lot back at Iowa. And we saw glimpses of it internationally as well. It's one of those tools that adds another layer to her game, especially when defenses start overplaying the perimeter. So when you put it all together, what you're seeing is a player working through a full offensive package, not just standing there taking catch-and-shoot threes. And that matters. Another thing I really like about this footage is how it's presented. It's continuous. You're seeing real sequences, makes and misses, different angles, no heavy editing trying to create a false narrative. That's how shooting drills should be shown. Not a highlight reel stitched together to make it look like someone never misses. Show the process, show the rhythm, because that's where the real evaluation happens. Now, compare that to the overreaction we saw earlier with that dribbling clip. You remember that one? Caitlin handling 2 basketballs at once during warm-ups? It's impressive, no doubt. That's not easy to do. But the way some people reacted, you'd think it was something only she could do on the planet. That's just not reality. If you're a professional guard, whether in the NBA, WNBA, or even lower-tier leagues, you should be able to handle drills like that. It's a baseline skill at that level. So yes, it's cool to watch, but let's not turn it into something mythical. Bullshit. This shooting footage, though, this is where the real value is. Because what stands out most isn't just the percentage, it's the feel. Caitlin looks comfortable. She's not rushing, she's not forcing shots. There's no sense of tension in her release. Everything looks controlled, smooth, and repeatable. And that's important because there were moments in previous workouts where it felt like she was almost not frustrated, but pressing a bit, like she was putting extra force into her shots, almost launching them instead of letting them flow naturally. You don't see that here. Here, it's calm, it's composed, it's rhythmic, and that's exactly what you want heading into a season. Now, let's talk projections, because that's where things get really interesting. As a rookie, Caitlin shot around 34% from 3. That's solid, especially given the difficulty of her attempts. These aren't easy catch-and-shoot looks. We're talking deep-range, off-dribble, contested shots. I expect that number to go up, probably into the 36-37% range. And if she hits that, that's a big deal. Because at that efficiency, combined with her shot difficulty and volume, you're looking at one of the most dangerous perimeter scorers in the league. What's wild, though, is how much her 2-point percentage struggled. She shot about 43% from 2, which is surprisingly low, like genuinely lower than you'd expect. It wasn't something that stood out as much during the season, but when you actually look at the numbers, it's clear there's room for improvement there. And that's why the idea of reverting to the mean comes in. I don't expect her to suddenly shoot over 40% from 3 in the WNBA. That was never realistic. But I do expect her overall efficiency to stabilize. Better shot selection, more experience, improved physical conditioning, those things add up. And then there's the playmaking.
Even last season, dealing with injuries, she managed to reduce turnovers slightly while increasing assists. That's not easy to do. If she can bring her turnovers down to under 5 per game, she's probably never going below 4, just given her usage, but if she can keep it under 5 and maintain around 9 assists per game, that's elite production. The only real concern I have, and it's a valid one, is usage. There's a chance she has the ball less this season, and if that happens, something has to give. Either her scoring numbers dip or her assist numbers take a hit. You can't reduce usage and expect both to stay high, it just doesn't work that way. So that's something to watch closely as the season develops. But overall, what we're seeing from training camp is encouraging. Not flashy, not over the top, but controlled, efficient, and intentional. And honestly, I think that might be exactly what this team needs right now. Real shit. Anyway, that's the breakdown. Tell me what you think. Don't forget like and subscribe.